Thanks for watching Open Carry Alabama. One thing I hate is when a police officer gets killed. Because not all police officers are bad. There are some good ones out there, there's some bad ones out there, because they are, in fact, just people. The problem is a Birmingham police officer was killed this weekend, and people are making a huge fuss over the whole thing. And I completely agree that the guy who killed him should pay the price, because he did commit a murder. But let's stop acting like this cop was an innocent person, okay? Now, the news story reads, oh, police officer was gunned down by so-and-so, yada yada. You know what the reality is? If you read the article, look right here. You see this? I'll go ahead and tell you what it says. It says that the police officer backed into this man's motorcycle. The guy was sitting at a gas station. He was sitting on a milk crate. His motorcycle was parked. And the police officer was actually off duty. He didn't have a uniform on. And he was not in a patrol car. He was in his own vehicle, not wearing a uniform. He was just your average Joe. Witnesses will say that and admit that none of them knew he was even a police officer. But what happened was this police officer was backing into his parking space, and he hit this man's motorcycle so hard that the report shows that he couldn't even get it to start later. Now, I've dropped a motorcycle from time to time, and I gotta tell you, that thing usually starts right back up. This cop had to have slammed into it pretty roughly to cause enough damage that it would never start again, okay? With that being said, they got into an argument, and if you read the actual article, the original article, the police officer got in his car and started to drive off. There are no police at the scene. Nothing. So they didn't call the cops and file a report or anything like that, so that for insurance claims. Nothing at all. The police officer got in his car and was driving away from the scene when the man was so infuriated that he ran over to him and shot him dead. Now, do I agree that this man should have taken such action? Absolutely not. He should not have killed anybody over a material item. With that being said, I'm pretty sure this officer was committing a felony at the time. He was committing a hit and run. He slammed into somebody's motorcycle, destroyed it, and then he got in his car and drove away. And then he was gunned down. So we need to stop taking this out of proportion. Oh, this police officer was slain. No, we look at it the exact same way we would as if he was a bank robber or some guy with a gun committing a crime. If some guy walks into the Waffle House down the road and he's holding the place up with his little gun, and he gets shot and killed. Nobody, oh God, he got gunned down. He was an off-duty police officer. Terrible. No, we say that he was committing a felony. He got what happened to him, I mean, we're going to still arrest this jackass who killed him, but he was committing a felony when he died. But this is a police officer, and we're saying, he was an off-duty police officer. It's terrible tragedy. No, the fact is, he committed a hit and run, which is a felony, and he was killed in the process. He is no different than any other criminal out there. Okay, and I hate to put it out there like that, but that's the facts right there. He committed a felony, and he was killed in the process. He is no different than a bank robber or a drug dealer or any of these other, people out there who get arrested or killed in the middle of committing a crime. The only difference is that when he was not out committing crimes, he was wearing a police uniform and arresting people. That's the only difference. It was his job. So let's stop acting like he's this huge... Yes, he is a victim. He is a murder victim. He was killed. But let's be honest. We don't need to be throwing up our hands and, oh, it's so sad, because the fact is he was killed committing a felony. Okay? Is that really such a bad thing? Because I gotta be honest with you, if somebody slams into my goddamn motorcycle, and then we don't get to call the cops or nothing, that motherfucker gets in his car and tries to just drive the fuck off, I can't say I'm gonna shoot that motherfucker, but I gotta be honest with you, I might shoot his tires out, drag him out the car, and beat the shit out of him, and then call the cops, because he's committing a hit and run. That's a felony. Citizen's arrest, bitch. Okay? So, y'all need to get it clear. This cop, he was killed in the process of committing a crime. He's no different than anybody else committing a crime and getting killed.